everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pots or Shots. I'm your host, Johnny Clearwater. With me today is Katrina Ariel.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Are you excited to be here?
I am actually, yes.
Are you nervous at all?
A little. There's a lot of hot sauce on these pieces of sushi, but I'm looking forward to it.
So for those that have seen the show before, we normally do a coin flip, but Katrina doesn't drink, so she has decided to suffer the challenge of the sauces here. I don't want to say it's a challenge, because it's not. You just tap out whenever you need to, and even if you do, we'll still continue with the questions, so there'll be no change there. You want to let the audience know a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name is Katrina Ariel. It's Katrina-Ariel on Steemit, and I've been on Steemit for about 4 months, having a blast. I am a mama bear. I got my Queen of the Wild shirt on. I have twin boys. They're 3.5, and they keep me busy, but I really appreciate Steemit for how much community interaction I can have without leaving my house. Some amazing people on this platform.
All right. Very cool. All right, so you've seen a couple episodes, right?
I have.
All right. So we're going to eat first and then move to a question.
Okay.
All right? So it's left to right. If you screw up and jump to something hotter, that is your fault.
10-4.
Right? So we're going to go ahead and start off with, I believe this is G Love Special Sauce, sambal sauce. Looks like that's your meatiest roll over there.
Mm.
Sushi looks fantastic.
It's good though.
What are some cool features you would put in your dream house?
Well, how realistic does this dream house have to be?
It's dream.
You probably want a tree in the middle, like a really, really big tree.
Okay.
If I could make a dream house in the redwood forest, that would probably
I've seen some houses like that.
Yeah.
And I'm into
Natural water features
Yeah,
and
I'm
lots
into
of
that.
nature.
I could totally agree with you on that. It's, I want to live in the woods. You know, like I like the term log cabin mansion. So that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right. And how about anything else? About special features. We know you're into. We got the nature angle covered.
Yeah, you gotta have my nature. Nature keeps me sane. Oh, special features. Yeah, the only thing I can do is think about is bringing nature in.
It's good enough. It's good enough. Feel free. You can elaborate as much as you want with any of these. Okay.
Okay.
But realize the quicker your answer is, the quicker you have to move on.
Right. Special features.
How'd you like the first one?
That was really tasty.
Yeah, it's a really nice sauce.
It is.
So next up we have Secret Aardvark's Habanero Hot. We're still on the lower end of things, so you'll be all right.
Thanks for the pep talk.
So nice roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that veal sauce has a nice balance to the hot. If you could have lunch with anyone alive today, who would it be?
It's a hard question. I'm a Gemini, so I usually want to pick like 5 choices when I have one. It's hard for me to decide on one thing. Oh, that would be good. And
Can you get it down to 3?
3. I will try.
So maybe once you name 3 to yourself, you might go, you know what? Of those 3, this would be the one.
J.K. Rowling would be one. I'm an author, so I would be. She wrote the Harry Potter books.
Okay.
I would be just thrilled to sit down with her and let her imagination and my imagination mingle.
Okay, so there you go. You got one.
I got one. Probably choose somebody like the Dalai Lama.
Really?
To be around him. Well, it might be a little bit predictable, but
like I feel like the conversation would be predictable.
Yes.
I wouldn't pass to have lunch with the guy.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be like, oh, this lunch has to require a lengthy conversation because I've seen a lot of his interviews and it's one of those things like I don't like the same thing over and over and over again. Rowling would make sense as an author because you would have a plethora of different types of questions, and she probably wouldn't mind unless you were like, so what happened to Harry? And what I mean?
I probably know what happened.
Right, those ones that they get asked every time.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two.
Well, the Dalai Lama for me.
I'd be afraid of what he eats, too. So I'm having lunch. We're having lunch,
Oh, well.
They're gonna be like, really, Lama?
I would just want to be around him and to laugh with him. He's got this kindness and this radiance that, I don't know, just to be around his energy would be really special for me. Who else? I think Stephen Colbert might be either Stephen Colbert or John Oliver, just to laugh. I mean, I wouldn't be eating; I'd be laughing the whole time.
I like, yeah, they're both alright. And it goes like that all the time anyway. But with the current political climate, they're both boring me currently. But in general, I think they're really funny, and it's not surprising the way that they're at the moment, and it's just because that's how it is with all of them. I mean, it's the media's in general liberal left leaning, so you do have a lot of like let's play that part. But I mean, I remember watching Colbert ever since he was on the Jon Stewart show, John Oliver. I mean, they're funny.
They're funny.
They're just right now. I'm like, you're starting to bore me with the same old stuff. But I like those answers.
What about you?
So, it'd probably be Eddie Vedder, or even potentially Maynard, because that would be a very interesting conversation. From Tool, the lead singer of the band Tool.
Gotcha. Thank you for the. Yeah.
Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam.
I know Eddie Vedder, definitely.
Drew Brees.
Yeah. I was in New Orleans when they won the Super Bowl. It was so much fun.
I lived in New Orleans for 4 or 5 years. I have a giant fleur-de-lis tattooed on my ribcage. I'm a Saints guy. But it wouldn't just be because of that. Like, he's a stand-up guy, does a lot of community work, ridiculously impressive athlete, and someone that stepped to the plate when they said he might not even play again. Those are some really amazing barriers to hit, and like to be like, oh, you're never going to play again, and you're breaking records.
Yeah.
So there's a lot there, and certain things like he was willing, when the team was hitting salary caps, he was willing to negotiate taking less money to be able to keep players that they wanted and stuff like. You don't find that type of personality with super rich athletes that often. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not saying that a lot of them don't do charity work and stuff, but there's just something there that he's not an it's all about me kind of guy, which he would have every right to be, So there's a personality there that I feel like having a lengthy conversation with the guy and getting to know him, you could learn a lot from that.
For sure. I can see that the respect from all of those things that you said.
Eddie Vedder, for me, would be a lot more of a fan thing. Because, I'm just a Pearl Jam junkie. Whereas, like, Maynard from Tool, that would be a very in-depth conversation. That guy's a genius. So the things that you'd be able to talk about with him would be mind-blowing. Anybody else from that point, I would say, like, and it would still stick into the entertainment fields, it'd probably be Lucas or Spielberg. Two that really have gone above and beyond and started from the bottom and worked through all of it and built the nice network of friends, the same kind of thing that a lot of us do in our Steemit.
Yeah.
Building networking to just, get that support. But, somewhere, I don't have just a one. If I had to be a one, I would probably just be, I'd go for the fan route and just, I want to hang out with Eddie Vedder. That's top.
Why not?
But if I want a conversation to really matter and mean something that I could probably walk away from in the long run, it'd have to be one of the others. Because Vedder, I just want to chill with. You don't even have to talk, dude. Let's just let's burn one. All right, what do we got next? Oh, this is Palo Alto. This is the sauce that's made by the fireman.
Woohoo!
Cumin is the first flavor you're getting. It's a very cumin-y sauce. So that's why I was saying how it feels like something that would go on steak if you're looking for something spicy at the same time, but match that kind of flavor. Fire.
You did a good job. It's tasty.
Tell me something you believed way too long as a child.
Oh. That I don't believe anymore.
Yeah.
That I was horrible for every single mistake I made.
Who instilled that in you?
I don't think anybody did.
No, that was all on your own?
I think it was in my head. I don't know if part of it came from religion. I stopped going to church when I was 5. My parents were amazing enough to respect that decision. And I read the Bible on my own just so that I can make my own decisions about it. But yeah, I've always given myself a hard time. No
Really?
mistakes.
Yeah, mine's not that dramatic.
I tend to go deep. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny.
I believe for the longest time that dragonflies sewed your eyelids shut.
Wow, that's interesting. And how did you get that?
My mother. I didn't just make that one up.
Mm-hmm.
But I believed it for a really long time. Like a dragonfly would swing, and I'd be like, yeah. I don't know why she told me that. She told me one time, too, that artichokes were animals. And that she had a pet artichoke, Artie. But the dragonfly thing stuck. I believed that one for a while.
Wow.
Yeah. I know I believed the artichoke thing for a little while, too. But dragonflies, that one lasted for a while. And I was like, what do you mean they don't sew your eyelids shut?
Gosh, they eat mosquitoes.
Yeah, got me. Starts with a sweet flavor. All right, so this is Angry Goat Company is the company that makes it, and the sauce is Purple Hippo hot sauce. I'm fairly confident. It's made with prickly pears in it, so it starts nice.
You're not going to tell me how it finishes.
Well, that's up to you to decide.
Right. Hot, probably.
I love it.
It's sweet.
I love it. Sum up the entire human species in 3 words.
I am that.
I am that.
I am that.
For me, I think it's want it now.
I go big picture. You're like immediate. Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is now. It's we're of an age that we didn't have the technical advances that they have now. I mean, I remember watching the internet be born. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And
it opened. I've had questions that dive into this type of thing too. Like, is technology actually making us smarter? You know, and it's one of those. Like, I believe that technology has advanced and given us the opportunity to be much smarter, but I think it's made people a shit ton lazier.
Well, it's a tool, like anything
and
else. It depends.
That's why my answer is want it now.
Right.
Is we used to, if we went to write a book report on something, we used to have Encyclopedia Britannica. You know what I mean? Like, now it's what is the secret of the universe?
42.
I'm like, damn, dude, I had to go and do peyote to figure that one out. That's bullshit. So it's one of those, like, want it now. Everything's not, there's just not enough. There's not, especially for those that like to absorb it. Because I'm one of those, what's the fastest I can get my answers now? How quick can we do? How much can I, want it now. That's how I feel about everybody. Nobody likes it calm and slow anymore.
I have a funny story about encyclopedias. My partner bought a house, and it came with a set of encyclopedias, and they have been used for just about everything other than reading. And we've used them for propping things up, setting things down, like drop cloths for painting, and but yeah, I can see that. I think technology can bring us together, and it can also separate us. You know, everybody's looking at their smartphone. You got people around the table not talking. Or you have things like Steemit, where I'm meeting people all over the world, and the world's actually becoming smaller, and it's giving me more hope for humanity because I'm seeing all these wonderful people doing wonderful things. And granted, that's what I choose to focus on.
Right.
I could focus on all the people who aren't doing great things, and I'd see that too if I wanted to look there. But yeah, technology is a tool. Just like
So I am that.
I am that.
Was your answer. And you want to elaborate a little bit on that?
I would be happy to. So I tend to go big picture philosophy with things.
Okay.
And I think of the whole human race as, actually I think of all of existence as the one consciousness, whatever you want to call it, God or the universe or divine, wanting to experience itself. And so I think that the human race is a part of that divine consciousness wanting to experience itself. Now, it's experiencing the whole spectrum. It's experiencing things that we might term awful, as well as the things that are joyful. But so yeah, you asked me to sum up the whole of the human race, and I just go really big with it.
See, that wasn't when you said it, that's not what I was thinking at all. I was thinking more along the lines of how everybody thinks that they can be everything today. That's what I was thinking, like, yeah, I'm that.
Yes.
Kim Kardashian, oh, I'm that. You know, like, that's what I was thinking you meant. So, I'm glad I asked.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Hot.
A little bit?
There's a fire there, and we're only on 5. Okay.
Lucky dog. We'll just leave it at that. Just keep going until you're not going to.
Not too bad.
How do you hope you'll change as a person in the future?
Oh, interesting. I hope that I continue to become more patient with my children, and that I can give them enough freedom to be who they are, but also guide them to the best of my ability.
Are you worried you're not going to do that?
No, I think that I am. That's my vision for myself. I also, if I'm not thinking specifically as myself as a mother, if I'm coming back to that, focusing on mistakes when I was a kid, I'd like to continue to just chill out a little bit more. I mean, you saw me before the show. I was pacing. Can I help with this? I'm not very good at, like, just sitting back and chilling out. So that would be an improvement for me, I think.
How you doing?
My tongue is on fire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It gets a little warm.
Yeah, it's warm. It's definitely
You ready?
warm. No, but...
So
We'll do it anyway.
in the early spots, I've noticed that it's actually all right to take your time with them. You know, just get in and be done. This is another one of our new sauces. I love this one. We've had it for a couple episodes now. This is a Rogue, and its primary taste that's going to set off is blood orange.
Okay.
It's going to be in that type of comparison to how that prickly pear was. It'll have a nice sweet start.
Yeah, I hear the name Rogue. I'm stalling.
That's fine.
Transparent. I hear the name Rogue, and I just think Rogue One, which is one of my favorite movies.
It's got a picture of a pretty flower on it and stuff.
Pretty fun.
It does.
Oh, that's deceiving, isn't it?
Oh no, it's not a flower at all. It's a pepper. I'm trying to trick you.
Pretty pepper.
This is one of my new favorites. I'm not gonna lie, I love this sauce. It's much more subtle too than you would expect.
That next one's really thick.
Not as thick as the one after that.
Yeah.
If you could change one thing in history, what would it be?
Oh, man. Okay. phrase this really carefully. I would stop the patriarchy before it began. And I'll definitely need to elaborate on that.
Well, let me ask you this before you go to that
Yeah.
part. Where do you think it began?
I think it began in large part with the church, and I'm not against religion. I'm not against anybody's spirituality. I think that there are as many paths to God as there are people, and I respect everybody's choice. But the Bible has been edited many times by men, and the things that have been done in the name of the church, burning witches, was really taking women who had intuition and herb lore and who were midwives and burning them at the stake. It was repressing women and oppressing women and making them into property instead of equals. And a lot of that had to do with the way that the Bible was written. There are the Dead Sea Scrolls and other books that have been burned throughout history, that have been hidden. There's just so much wisdom that's been stolen from us in the name of power and control. And I don't think that any of that really has to do with the message that Christ brought, which was love. I think all of that was just for control and power.
See, I'm religiously tolerant, but I'm against organized religion. I think it's probably the biggest evil in our history. However, there is huge benefit to it. Just seeing the power of faith is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not something that I would be rid of as much as I'm opposed to it. Me personally, I don't know if I would actually change anything. And I think it's only because, I'm a big believer in history's important. And you're supposed to be able to learn from mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you erased those, they would have to occur again. I think an easy go-to would be to say something along the lines of, wouldn't it be great if we could ensure that the Holocaust had never happened? The sad fact to that is we all needed to be tested on a regard of what we were okay with and what we were never going to be okay with and what we would put an end to.
Mm.
But we didn't know that until it happened. And if that never occurred, it'd just be something that would have had to have been tested again by somebody else. So I don't really feel like, personally, I don't feel like changing anything in history would have prevented any of it from happening just at a different time, different place, different time, different person. I think those things, it's something I don't want to say I believe in fate so much, but some things are just going to happen. And it's one of those, would we want to live through that now? You know what I mean? Oh my God.
Well, we are still living with similarities, and we're still...
Well, you brought up an answer that I get, but it doesn't reflect on me or my life. You know what I mean? Because I guess technically I would be in the patriarchy.
Sure.
So,
but the stakes are
I don't
stacked
behave
in your favor, whether or not, there is male privilege.
As not being an oppressor as well,
mm-hmm.
is it's easy for me to, I don't want to say ignore, but not recognize those problems.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't want to say ignore, because I hear enough about it, but at the same time, it's one of those, I've never had to live it, so I don't, add to that. There are so many people today that just like to always complain that you never know who's being serious or what. Are you just an emotionally unstable person? Do you legitimately have research on that? Everybody just likes to bleh it out today, and it's a little, Twitter and stuff like that have just allowed people to go haywire.
Yes.
So it's one of those. It then makes it hard if someone that doesn't live in that to want to actually learn more about that, it takes that much longer to get to know who I'm talking to in the first place.
Well, I think, again, technology is a tool, and it is allowing people to express themselves. It is allowing people to learn a lot. And I think the first step is listening. And your answer is great, because if you change one thing, then, like, if I changed one thing about my past, even if that thing really sucked at the time, would I be who I am now?
Oh, when it comes to personal past, no.
No.
I would never. Like, there are things that I wish didn't happen, but I want to change them because it made me who I am.
Yeah.
Everything that's ever happened has made me who I am, at least as far as my personal life goes.
Yeah, but as far as history is concerned, there's been a lot of suffering that I think we could have learned lessons differently, and I think that I'm still surprised of the lack of respect and the lack of understanding that exists between men and women today, and between different races today, and between different genders and different gender identities today. And I think we are definitely taking steps towards greater understanding and greater respect and greater equality, but the equality is still really lacking.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's where my answer came from.
So what do you think?
I'll try one more. Can I scrape some of that off? Give me the evil eye.
This is Evil Bastard.
Evil bastard. Oh. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have told me that. Oh, look. This is me half tapping that, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Oh. I'm cheating.
I'm a little nervous about this one.
I don't think I'm going to touch that one.
I've tried it.
I'm sorry. I know I should suffer along with you, but...
A portal to another world suddenly opens up in front of you. Do you go through it?
Yeah. Well, okay, it depends.
Oh.
Can I see through the portal?
It didn't say so I can't say yes or no to that.
Are my kids with me? Those are the two questions I would need to know. Because the adventurous part of me says, yes, I go through the portal, but what if it's really, really bad on the other side?
And I mean, even if you could see through it, what would guarantee that you would know that it was still really good or bad?
That was hot, and I didn't even have very much of it, so this is me officially tapping out.
Really?
Yeah. I know.
You took like all of it off.
I took most of it off. And ow. Yeah. But I actually got further than I thought I would.
You went one more than... So I don't want to say where I thought you would go. I knew what I thought you would be able to handle. And then it was all iffy from here. I'd love, though...
I wanted to try it.
I'd love to see you at least try that next sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure you would, but I don't know.
I mean, as far as like just a taste, it doesn't take much.
Yeah, well, why don't you talk about portals for a little while?
Well, so me, I would not. I have zero interest in that. I haven't finished here. You know what I mean? Like, I got so much more to still do that I definitely don't want to just leap right in. There's just no way.
Mm-hmm.
So the answer to that is just no for me, period. Now, I'm basing it on the assumption that this portal just appeared right now, and this may be the only opportunity that I have to take advantage of it. Yeah, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Thanks. Now, if it's one of those, like, this portal's open, and now that it's open, I can still make this choice 10 years from now, when more is known about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, I still might not. It's one of those, too. Why don't we just shoot a few through and move on? I like it here, man.
I've written about portals. There's quite a few of my books involve portals too. Different times, different alternate histories. They're mostly Earth-based worlds, except for one book which has all kinds of different worlds. But so I'm a big fan of portals, but I'm also a mom of 2 kids, and I really love this planet. So I don't know if I would do it, but my imagination.
I know a few people's kids that I might like shove through. Yeah, no, I don't have. Like I said, I'm not done here.
Yeah.
I've got so much more. You know, I don't know if I'll ever reach that final level of I feel 100% accomplished. I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Then that'd be a different story. Then I'd be sure, why not? But I don't think I'll ever get there. I don't want to ever get there. I want to, I want that just to keep getting higher. So if I even get close, I just have to keep pushing this further. So evil bastard, you think that was it, huh? That did you in?
I don't think I can do anymore.
This, I don't know how this is going to go for me here. So this is new for me. I'm not saying that I've tried it, but this will be
in this quantity.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, like when I did episode 1, that was the first time that I had any of it in quantity. I had tasted all of them, but I mean tasted like on my finger.
Right.
Episode 1, we went all in, sauced the hell out of those wings, and it was an eye opener.
Ouch.
So, I am gonna try to shoot for this here now.
Okay. Well, I'm cheering you on.
No. I'm talking to you now.
Oh, you're trying to get me to get this one on.
I want you to try this sauce. You don't have to eat, and if you do, I won't ask you again on the others.
Oh.
Yeah, because
those don't look as scary. But.
So, do you
What's this called?
So this is. First off, the company's name is Grinders. All right, it's a restaurant. They make the sauce in their establishment. The sauce itself is called Death Nectar. Okay.
Why would I put
look
anything in my mind? It's got a skull and crossbones. No, I'm
just
not
lick it.
eating
Look,
this.
he's licking his own face. He's so happy.
It's disgusting.
He's like, this is so good. I'm just gonna lick myself. You don't have to try the whole sushi roll. I just want you to try the sauce. Oh, don't be that scared. It's not that bad. I'm dead serious. It's there though. It's at least you know what I'm about to go for here. Because I told you I've not done this.
I don't think I should eat that.
Death Nectar, huh?
Uh-huh.
So here is this bullshit. What's the one thing that really motivates you?
The one thing that really motivates me. Joy, fun, being good. I told you shouldn't eat it. I'll try to talk for a while. Being good to other people, making the world a better place. All of those things to me are the same thing, because having fun and being joyful, I think, makes the world a better place, and being able to share that with others. I had,
my teeth hurt.
That much. That hurt. Oh.
My fucking teeth hurt.
I believe you.
So what I'm trying to decide right now is, I've never had anybody tap out. So I don't know if...
I don't think you should have to eat.
I don't know if I need to finish.
I really don't think you should, but... You just ate something called, what, Death Nectar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait for Matt Damon to get here.
I can't wait to see that show.
Oh, that is a mean motherfucker right there.
Yeah.
And I know how hot those are. I'm not used to that punch.
Yeah, that's
at that spot.
One hell of a punch.
It's fucked up. That's some hot shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And you picked that out?
If cars were free, what 5 would you immediately want home?
What, 5? I get 5?
Yeah.
I want a Tesla. I want a Toyota Tacoma. I want a Volkswagen Synchro Westphalia, but with a Porsche engine in it and like completely refurbished. I want probably a larger RV for lots of like cross-country trips. And I don't know, I'd just probably end up finding something.
5's a lot. So.
5? I don't need 5. I'd give one away.
Sold?
What about you? Can you
I'm not answering shit.
Oh.
I'm lit. So this is it then. This is question number 10. My ears are popping. Like, my ears are ringing right now. No joke.
I believe you.
It's crazy. I want to like be snapping my fingers and rubbing my earlobes.
Oh.
It's all good. What's the biggest... This is a good final question. What's the biggest thing holding mankind back now?
Greed?
I'm a capitalist.
Well, I'm not against wanting to improve your life. I'm not against wanting to have enough for yourself and your family. I'm not against extravagance. But the greed that goes along with wanting control and oppression that comes from that, that's what's holding humanity back. That greed is what's killing our Earth. And again, we only have one planet. I mean, you can go explore Mars or whatever. We have one planet, and it's a beautiful planet, and I love it. And it makes me really sad to see that there's so much destruction being done in the name of greed.
Okay.
So I'm not against capitalism. I'm not against, make your money, take care of your family. But
do you think it's greed in general, or it's specific people?
It's specific, completely imbalanced greed, hand in hand with control.
Like I would say, for example, we already know there are vehicles that can run on water.
Yeah.
The greed of the oil companies will not see that for maybe ever. You know what I mean? So that's where I could say, to an extent, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. But greed also separates us from each other, and in some sense. I mean, if you're greedy and you're thinking from a place of scarcity mentality, so I gotta get this, and I don't want to share with them because it all has to be mine. I guess it's greed without any altruism.
Okay.
Without balance.
So what'd you think?
That was fun. I enjoyed the conversation. I'm really sorry that you put that sauce in your mouth because you look like you're suffering, but this is what you do.
I didn't have tears come out, I'm surprised.
Yeah? No, yeah. There's no tears. I see
no
tears.
And I wouldn't have been surprised if it happened there. Because that was something else. That is, we can do this right now. Because I already know that's the way that's going to go today. Although I will say, for the record, this is a higher Scoville. But yeah, that kicks you right in the dick. Wow.
Even if you don't have one.
Yeah. No. Serious. Katrina, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you. Likewise.
So I want to say thank you very much. You're gonna be here again Saturday for the meetup, right?
Yeah, I might come for and watch Ingenuity's show as well.
We are recording in Tennessee. Took a trip to Tennessee. We're doing a meetup. In total, I think we're going to have like 15 to 20 Steemians all piled together in this house.
Woo-hoo.
And all throughout this week that I'm here, I'll be filming episodes with a handful of them. Katrina was the first. And it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
So that's it, everybody. Thanks for joining. And thanks for watching another episode of Hot 3 Shots. And I'm Johnny Clearwater. See you next week.
Morty.